Hello guys and welcome back to the Stacey West YouTube channel. I am Ben and I am joined by Jake Coburn from the Real EFL. How you doing, mate? Are you well?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, mate. Yeah, all good at the minute. And Jake is here to talk about the game at Sincil Bank tomorrow. The Imps take on Richie Wellens' Leyton Orient, and yeah, in what is a sellout game at Sincil Bank. And we were just saying off air, it's a pretty big one, isn't it, for you guys? And you were just saying it's probably a bigger game for us, you think, maybe at the minute. Yeah, let's take a look at how the season's gone for Orient so far. I mean, you find yourself in 10th place at the moment. You're 3 points behind us. And really, could you have wished for a better start to life in League One?
Yeah, I mean, Richie Wellens said it perfectly in his pre-match interview for tomorrow. He said, if you offer me the place that we are now to start the season, I would have bitten your hand off. So we've certainly had a very good start to the season. Definitely didn't expect to be where we are now, especially when you look at how the season sort of started for us. There was a lot of talk about maybe we'd be in a relegation battle after we had a few dodgy results at the start, but we found our feet in League One, and yeah, it's good. It's good to be in the mix, shall we say, with the last couple of months of the season to go.
Definitely so. I mean, like I'm just looking through, some of your past results in the past few weeks. I think you had a bit of a spell where you had two losses on the bounce to Bristol Rovers and Wigan, but you managed to beat Stevenage last weekend with a goal from an ex-Imp, which put a smile on all of our faces with Max Sanders. So, I mean, the season so far, like you say, maybe a bit of a indifferent start. You're now getting to the point where, like I say, you're 10th. You're still mathematically in with a shout at the playoffs. I mean, do you think you guys could achieve it? Obviously, a lot will hinge on tomorrow's game. But do you think there's still an outside chance there, or is that kind of you're kind of happy with where you are?
The talk within the club, really, the fans and the manager, really, is that we are quite happy with where we are. Obviously, Wellens said after the Stevenage game that he was just saying we've got nothing to play for. But if you look at the pre-match interview for tomorrow's game, he says that, look, if we do win, it gives us a chance. Obviously, other teams have tough fixtures to play. I think Oxford United still have to play yourself, and they've got to play Stevenage. So take each game as it comes. Another thing to point out is I know a lot of teams have this, but we've had a lot of injuries this season. We've had key players, a lot of our best players out. Jordan Graham's missed most of the season. Dan Ajay, I mean, he's barely been fit, but when he has been fit, he's been brilliant. And then you've got centre-back Dan Happy, who has just excelled from non-league to League Two to League One. He's picked up an injury as well. So we've only got 2 fit centre-backs. I think tomorrow's the last game where Jack Simpson can't play. So, look, take each game as it comes and see where we end up.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're currently missing some key men in our midfield as well. So, yeah, it sounds like it could be a battle of the sick notes tomorrow. But I mean, obviously, one player that we've spoken about previously on the pod and on the channel, Theo Archibald's obviously missing for you guys as well at the moment. I think he's just undergone knee surgery, so his season's done. But I think he did his ACL, didn't he?
Yeah, that's another one as well. There's so many to remember. George Moncur as well. Theo Archibald was in fantastic form before he got injured and out of contract in the summer. I'm hoping we do offer him another contract because he's been a great servant to the club. But obviously, it's hard when you've picked up such a long-term injury.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've got one very similar with defender Lewis Montsma. He did his ACL, came back, and then unfortunately did it again. I think the talk is he was potentially out in the summer, out of contract in the summer as well. So, yeah, I know what you mean. It's tough decisions to make at some point, isn't it? So, okay, well let's talk about how you guys set up. I mean, obviously I've looked through the squad. I'm looking through a few bits at the moment. It seems that you're kind of in this 4-2-3-1 formation in general, and I think looking through it, I mean the key man seems to be Soterio. for his contributions. I think he's got in double figures for the season for goals already. So, any other key men that we need to be watching out for tomorrow? And how will you guys approach tomorrow's game and set up?
Well, something that's quite interesting about Leyton Orient is the unpredictability of the team. We have a lot of versatile players. Rob Hunt, right or left back. Tom James, the same. Not really sure sometimes what flank they're going to start on. Ethan Galbraith as well can play full back, can play in midfield, can even play on the wing. So with the tactics, it's more of we sort of decide on who we're playing. There's different game plans for different games. So normally 4-2-3-1. Last week at Stevenage, we just played 4-4-2, or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. So it's sort of dependent on the team we're playing. To look out for, I'd say it's got to be Idris El Mazouni, into his second season now at the club on loan from Ipswich Town. He's just excelled. I mean, League Two, he was quality, way too good for that level. Brought him back again on loan in League One, and he had a dodgy start, but every game, 9 out of 10 performance. We wouldn't be where we are without him. It's as simple as that. So look for him in the middle. He'll likely be trying to drive us forward. And yeah, if he plays well, normally the team play well as well.
Okay. I mean, obviously, we're in something of well, I mean, it's an incredible run we're in at the moment. I think 13 unbeaten. We've scored 16 in our last 3 games. I mean, is there anything that how do you envision you guys potentially stopping that flood at the moment?
Well, once again, if you're referring to Wellens in his pre-match, he's saying that the aim of tomorrow is not really about us, it's to disrupt the opposition momentum, because I think it's something like 13 games that you haven't lost, and it's a fantastic run. But you have to look at us and say, I hope this doesn't come back to bite me, but you scored 5 or 6 goals in your last couple of games. We haven't conceded many of late. I think it's 2 goals we've conceded in 5 games, and we're coming off the back of 2 clean sheets. So if we get first 20 minutes, I think is always a cliche, but if we get through the first 20 minutes having not conceded 1 or 2, I mean, the game's in the balance, really. I also think despite Lincoln's goal scoring form, it's also 2 even teams. Obviously, we've sort of played twice already due to unfortunate circumstances. Not much between the 2 sides on both. So for me, a very interesting game tactically and as well as on the eye as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be remiss if we didn't mention the away leg or legs of the fixture. So obviously the first game was basically I think 1-0 to you guys until everything sort of stopped, and then the rearranged fixture we won that 1-0 with a very late goal. So I've seen a little bit of I don't know, maybe discontent from people online around how that all came about. And I know when the rearranged fixture happened, I think in the program notes, it was mentioned, neither team wanted the game to be replayed. It was kind of enforced by the EFL to do so. So I mean, I just hope that there's, it seemed like there was a decent link between the 2 sides when we came, when we went back to Orient, and I hope that that's reciprocated tomorrow. I hope that we're all kind of, we're all there together before and after the game. Obviously, for 90 minutes, we'll be at loggerheads. That's how it works.
Yeah, I don't think it's really an issue with the Lincoln fans, to be honest. I think I was at both games. I think they were exceptional in both. Very, very respectable as well of the situation. Of course, it was heartbreaking stuff, but it's more to do with the EFL. Was it 83rd minute or something like that?
Yeah.
1-0. I don't think Lincoln were knocking on the door really for a goal in that sense, but in those sort of circumstances, I mean, firstly to try and play on was awful.
Yeah.
That, and secondly, I don't believe the game should have been replayed. I can actually see why it was replayed, because obviously there's rules in place and whatever, but maybe that's something they should look at for next season. Obviously, it's quite rare, and thoughts go out to Derek Reynolds' family, but
Absolutely.
yeah, it's not to do with the fans. No.
No, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, like I say, looking ahead to tomorrow, then, have you been? Do you keep an eye on much in terms of the imps? Have you seen anybody in the squad that you quite like the look of, or anyone you're thinking, oh, this could cause a problem for us?
Well, I remember Erahon. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. But he was one of the most impressive players when he came to us, but I think he's banned, so quite.
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
um,
he's suspended for tomorrow, unfortunately.
yeah, you've got Moylan as well. Seems to be in good scoring form, and obviously Joe Taylor as well, who was quite key for Luton last year as well. So to get him in League One and scoring goals, got a very good team. So it's about how we deal with it defensively. But also, Wellens keep going to go back to his interview. He's saying, whilst you played Bristol Rovers the other week, obviously I didn't watch the game, but you battered them quite comfortably. He's also saying that you conceded a lot of chances as well. And that's something that we've done very well in recent weeks. We take our chances. So do you. Stevenage away, low quality game of football as it is when you go to the Lamex, but one real moment of quality and we score. So tomorrow's going to be about who's more clinical, who takes their chances. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I saw, I did watch the highlights back from the Stevenage game, and it was, it seemed like say, one moment of quality in the first half, and then the highlights made it look a little bit like it was all Stevenage after that, but I'm sure that probably wasn't the case. But like you say, you don't expect, well, you don't expect El Clasico when you go to the Lamex, do you? It's going to be up and under football. So, okay, cool, right. I mean, on the whole, how was sounds like the mood's pretty high in the Orient camp at the minute. Like I say, first season in League One, and you're hanging lower top half of the table. So yeah, I mean, what do you expect maybe for end of the season, close season, and maybe push on for next year? Do you reckon? Or
I think at end of the season is just finish as strongly as we can. Obviously, we're not expected to finish in the top six by any stretch of the imagination. The amount of injuries we have, you'll look at the bench tomorrow, and the average age will be about 20 or 21. A lot of youngsters, a lot of low knees who haven't really featured. But going back to those low knees, we brought in both on deadline day strikers, Kyan Edwards from Arsenal and Dan Adu-Ajay from Bournemouth haven't really hit the ground running yet. And look, if we are to end the season well, one of them's got to, take it by the scruff of the neck and go on a scoring run. Obviously, it's hard being in. I think it's both their first like professional league spell. So a lot of absentees. But if you look into next season, the quality we're going to bring back, obviously Happy and Archibald, depending on contracts. But Jordan Graham was arguably probably one of our best players before he got injured. Dan Ajay offered so much as well. So you'll have them next season. And I also think you'll see the ambition of this club with Wellens always saying he wants to do better. He wants to do better. He doesn't want to just settle for where we are. You'll see players like that. And I think players who are looking to join clubs in the summer will look at that and think, I think Leyton Orient's a club I want to join.
good. No, I mean that's kind of. I think that's probably kind of where we were start of maybe last season. I think if you do the basics right at all levels of the club, you'll get people wanting to come to you. So now it sounds like yeah, everybody's got their head screwed on at Orient and they're doing the right things, which is what we like to hear. So Jake, it's that time of the preview. Are we feeling brave enough to put some predictions out there for tomorrow's game?
I think it's going to be, as I've said, it's going to be a very exciting game. Been looking forward all week to it. Both teams, Lincoln especially, in very good goal scoring form, but Orient off the back of a massive win at Stevenage that no one really saw coming. We're not bad on our travels. We've got some good away results. Beat Portsmouth 3-0, most notably. So I think it's going to be an even game. I don't think either team's going to win it. I'm going to say 1-1.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I think you might stop us, going on a full route tomorrow, but I think confidence is high in the squad. I think we are missing some midfielders. Obviously, Ethan Hamilton's out at the moment. Ethan Arahan has been suspended, and Conor McGrandles is obviously out for the season as well. So we'll have a little bit of a makeshift defensive midfield, but I think I think we should be able to get it tomorrow. I'm going to say 2-1 to the Imps. So yeah, we'll see. But
it's that experience as well. If you look
yeah,
at the run that Lincoln are on, the experienced players they have, it's a very young team. I was talking about the bench. The starting 11 average age is young all the time, but it's confidence. It's down to confidence. If you go the first 20 minutes and don't concede, not only is that going to do a lot for Orient's confidence because of all the goals Lincoln's have scored, but it's also going to make Lincoln think, hang on a minute, they're not just going to roll over as much as Cambridge or Bristol Rovers have done in recent weeks.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. And like I say, hopefully, we get an entertaining game tomorrow. I'm sure we will. Like I say, it's a full house at the Bank. So plenty of noise. And thank you for joining me, Jake. Really appreciate it, mate. And yeah, I'll give you, a few seconds. Obviously, if you want to promote anything or, tell us where to find you.
Well, it's Jake Coburn 10 on Twitter. Obviously, I write for the EFL, the Real EFL website. Quite a lot I do on there is Leyton Orient based. But yeah, enjoy the game. Thanks for having me on, and hopefully we get a good result in Orient's favour.
No worries. Well, I say until next time, guys. Up the Imps.